Hello guys, welcome to my garden. My name is Anna. So I just received a package from Heirloom Roses. I'm pretty excited. I have never ordered from them before. So yeah, let's open it together. I believe the little bamboo stick is so the plant doesn't bounce around in the box and crush the plant. This one has pricklies. So I got Bonica and Carefree Delight. So the reason why I got these two is because of their rose hips. So I've been reading about like herbal teas and stuff like that and oils, and I was looking for a plant that was good for the rose hips. And I found, I believe it's called Rosa rugosa. I believe that's the name of it. And that was supposed to be like the best one for the rose hips, but it's a huge plant. So I started looking into it, and these two were on the list of, you know, that they had good rose hips. So now, when it comes to planting, they need a good amount of sun. So make sure that the location where you want them gets at least like 6 hours of sun. So for Bonica here, this spot right here is where I'm gonna put it. This right here. So I have not watered them, but that is very important. Once you receive your roses or purchase your roses from a local store, it's a good idea to water them thoroughly, because I have done it. I don't water them and I transplant them and the poor thing just crumbles up. So let's do that. Let's give them a little drink, and then we can start digging the spot where we want them. They were pretty dry. Okay, that should be good enough. So this little bed has a lot of compost on it. So roses do like a good amount of compost. They like fertile soil. So I'm still gonna add a little bit more compost in there. So I'm gonna dig the hole, and then I'm gonna mix it a little bit with the compost, and then I'm gonna put it back in there. And I will be adding some bone meal for it. I don't like adding fertilizer to my roses like when they just are planted, because I noticed that they kind of like almost like they get stunted, almost like it's too much for them. So I'm just gonna do some bone meal. So let's do the planting hole, and then we go from there. So you want to stay away from the wall a little bit. I mean, the distance, it depends on your rose bush, depending on the size that it gets. Like I have some drift roses back there, and they stay really small and like low to the ground. So that one you don't have to like push it so far away from the fence. But this one it does, because this one it gets a little big. So I'm gonna go about right here. Look at all those ones. This is good soil. When I made this bed, I added cardboard at the bottom, and I feel like that's why the soil is so full of worms, and it looks good. Okay, I think that's good enough. So the hole needs to be double the size of your pot. So it doesn't need to be huge, but you know, a good amount. That way the the roots can spread easily in the little planting hole. So let's get our little plant. And yeah, should be good enough. So now I'm just gonna empty the compost with this soil so I can mix it and then add it to the planting hole. So here is my bone meal. I'm just gonna add a good amount. Okay, now I'm just gonna mix my compost. So now I'm just gonna put a little bit of the compost and soil back in there. Now I'm gonna check to see if it's a good height for the plant. So you want it to stick up a little bit above the soil level. So I'm just gonna add more soil. And I know it doesn't make sense to dig and then to put back the soil, but it actually helps the plant, like the roots, since they're gonna start reaching for, to grow, and it's gonna help it. It's gonna help a bunch for the plant to spread the roots. So let me try again. Maybe a little bit more. I think that is good. Okay, so now we're gonna take our plant out of the pot. There you go. So that's pretty good. The plant is not root bound. It looks pretty healthy. What I will do is sprinkle it a little bit with some bone meal. Just a little bit. So now we just put the soil back. Now the best time for planting your roses is springtime, or you can do it early fall. That way they get a good chance to acclimate before they hit the summertime, whenever it gets really hot. So yeah, and now we just make sure that the whole root ball is covered. Now we just press around the plant. Just a little pressing, but not too hard. You just want to remove some of the air bubbles. Okay. Now I'm just gonna water it. So watering is gonna help with air bubbles too, for the roots for the soil to settle around the roots. I will be applying some mulch around it. I just don't have any right now. And that is it. Our little rose is planted. So here I do get a little bit of shade, which is gonna be okay. If you don't have any other space in your garden, in the spot that you picked has a little bit of shade, it won't hurt the rose. But if it's full shade, the plant won't flower as much. But it does get a good amount of sun here. So I'm excited to see it grow. And if you have any questions about your roses, let me know. I will do my best to help you. And yeah, I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.